Jimmy Kimmel is pulled indefinitely for egregious comments on his show. FBI Director Kash Patel goes toe-to-toe with House Democrats this time, and Antifa has officially been designated a terrorist organization. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Yesterday evening, the Nexstar Media Group and ABC announced that they would be pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live from the air for the foreseeable future beginning yesterday evening, according to a statement from the Nexstar Media Group. Nexstar announced today that the company's owned and partner television stations affiliated with the ABC television network will preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future beginning with tonight's show. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC-affiliated markets. Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located. Quote, that was Andrew Alford, president of Nexstar's broadcasting division. He continued, quote, continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcasting platform in the communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time. And we have made the difficult decision to preempt his show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move toward the resumption of respectful, constructive dialogue, end quote. Here's the aforementioned comments by Jimmy Kimmel a couple of days ago.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend.
Now, some in the left-wing journalist ecosphere are already trying to turn this into some kind of a conspiracy, like Stephen Colbert's Late Show being canceled after losing the company $40 million and sinking in the ratings and a bevy of other issues. According to Lauren Hirsch at the New York Times, she speculates Nexstar, which is trying to get its $6.2 billion deal with Tenga approved, says it will preempt Jimmy Kimmel for the foreseeable future. Quite the implication there from the New York Times reporter. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr made it clear on Benny Johnson's show yesterday that violating the law on spectrum networks, those would be radio and the traditional analog digital TV, not cable news, that breaking federal law regarding things like slander, regarding other potential violations via misinformation, maybe electoral interference, those kinds of things, wouldn't be tolerated.
You know, when you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. As you've indicated, there are, avenues here for the FCC. So there are some ways in which I need to be a little bit careful, because we could be called ultimately to be a judge on some of these claims that come up. But I don't think this is an isolated incident. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
And I can't help sharing news like this. Brian Stelter, the chief media analyst at CNN, posted, I asked FCC Chair Brendan Carr if he had any new comment now that ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's show, and he sent me this GIF, or moving image. For those who are listening and not watching, that is a small GIF of Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute from the Office sitcom Raising the Roof. In other news, FBI Director Kash Patel went toe-to-toe with House Democrats yesterday as opposed to Senate Democrats. He argued with Representative Pramila Jayapal of Washington's 7th Congressional about the Epstein client list and perhaps other issues with the Trump administration.
They're not. You can't even
Victims credibly came forward, and you know what happened? President Trump authorized the indictments of Jeffrey Epstein.
Called them
not Biden,
a hoax.
not Obama.
President Trump
no one
called
else.
the entire thing a Democratic hoax.
He had this particular fight also with Democrat Representatives Hank Johnson and Eric Swalwell. Here's Representative Johnson claiming that Patel is somehow shielding, hiding, and protecting pedophiles.
Why are you hiding pedophiles? Why are you shielding pedophiles? Why are you protecting pedophiles?
That is maybe the most offensive thing you could say to me, given the numbers.
Well, you have not released
Given the
Epstein
numbers
files
of pedophiles.
You were aware of the
we
Epstein
arrested.
client list that was published in the 18,000.
The gentleman has expired.
And then the not so pleasant exchange with Representative Eric Swalwell.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in
it's
the
a simple
attorney's
question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is
painstakingly
simple.
Who
Did you
can
tell
be-
the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if you're
or
gonna mock
no,
me?
Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E,
did
F?
it...
Two other small notes from the Judiciary Committee in the House yesterday. Representative Jasmine Crockett decided to take the opportunity to say that she doesn't feel safe and that the only people who feel safe in this country are white supremacists.
And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe, I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists.
I will remind our viewing and listening audience that the attack on Irina Zarutska, in which her murderer said, "I got that white girl," in a racial hate crime, took place less than 1 month ago. And last but not least, in the committee side of things, Representative Jim Jordan, Republican of Ohio's 4th Congressional, grilled Kash Patel in a rather rapid-fire exchange on the differences between prior FBI administrations and that under the direction of Kash Patel.
Director, yes or no? Is the FBI still spying on parents at school board meetings?
No, sir.
Is the FBI still targeting Catholics?
No, sir.
Is the FBI still spying on President Trump?
I don't believe so.
Is the FBI still censoring Americans?
No, sir.
Is the FBI still targeting Americans for shopping at Cabela's or purchasing Bibles?
Nobody is targeted for their faith.
Is the FBI still targeting Americans who are pro-life?
Nobody is targeting anyone for their beliefs.
Is the FBI still cooking the books on crime data?
The crime data is real.
Is the FBI still purging agents for conservative viewpoints?
No one at the FBI has asked their viewpoints on
Is
politics.
the FBI still labeling the Betsy Ross flag, the flag of the American Revolution, a hate symbol?
No.
Well, maybe that's why you've been able to, what was the number? 23,000 bad guys you've arrested, a huge increase from the same time period in the previous administration. I think you said 1,400 predators, 4,000 children rescued. Were those the facts?
4,700, 35% increase on children rescued.
Yeah.
And lastly, Antifa, the far-left agitation and violent group in a disconnected network of cells which have encouraged violence against individuals for political reasons, which is on camera burning down city blocks, which has consistently called for the violent attack and murder of federal law enforcement and political figures, succeeding in a number of terror attacks, including being suspected in the killing of Charlie Kirk last week. This Antifa, which claims the name anti-fascist despite not echoing any kind of actual resistance against fascism, but promoting political terrorism. This Antifa has been officially designated a terror organization in the United States under the authority of the President of the United States and the Secretary of State, according to a post yesterday evening from President Donald Trump. Quote, I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster, as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter." End quote. While many on the left-wing media ecosphere are already trying to run out claims that Antifa is not a political organization, but is simply an ideological movement, this is both untrue and not at all how that works. Before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast, and you'll really want to make sure you're subscribed because tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're continuing not only a lot of news we weren't able to reach yesterday because of some breaking information and just a lot of content, but some extra special stuff, including a possibly different angle on why Jimmy Kimmel was given the boot that you may not have thought about yet. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Take care.